my site is called Test Grace. But for images, they live within what we call the root folder. So the root folder right here is images. And then I have to go to my own site. And then what I did was I built out my own folder for this workshop in particular. And so that's what I would do to get to where I need to for my images. And just to show you how to get to this from the main root. So this is a house icon, but I'm calling it home base. This is kind of where you see all of the sites within the CMS. So if I was in the College of Arts and Sciences, I can filter by arts and sciences, and that's how I can find my folder. Let's say I'm part of engineering. Once again, I can filter here and find it. But again, for images, you will go directly to your home base, and then you will go to the root images folder, which is within images. So within here, you will find your site. So mine again is Test Grace. And then I've built out this folder that I want to import our images into. So we are right now in what we call our staging server. And for anything within the CMS that you're basically building out or wanting to create to make sure the functionality looks correct, the design looks correct, you're going to be doing all of this within staging. But I like to think of the production server, for example, as kind of the things that you're uploading. It's already completed. It's already there's nothing that you can do to manipulate it because it's already a final product. So what you're going to want to do for images is upload to your production server primarily, but also you can do the same thing within your testing environment. So for example, I'll show you, I'll be building out the page within test. This is really helpful for if you have, let's say, different buy-in throughout the department, or you need someone else to review a site. If you upload everything to your testing environment and then publish it to test, you will then generate a test link where you can send to other people in your department for review so that they can give you feedback and edits, but it's not published live to the outside world, for example. So what I'm going to do is upload the image both to the testing server and to production. It doesn't matter which one you do first, so I'll just start in test. And there's two different ways to upload here within the CMS. You can click this upload button. You can click add right here, and then I find my manatee image grid image. I'll click open, and then right here, you'll click start upload. And hopefully, if the CMS is working with me today, it'll upload the image, which it's not. I'm going to go over to the production server and show you the second way of how to upload an image into the CMS. All you have to do, and this is kind of the way I like to do it because I just think it's a little bit more fun, you can pull it over here and see how this bright green box is appearing. You can just drag and drop, and then of course, it's not working for me for some reason. It should upload the image right here. So let's see if this, okay, there we go. So it's just being a little slow this morning, of course. So here's my image in the test environment. I'll go back to production, and there it is right there. So it's just being a little bit slow with me this morning. So now I have my images where I need them to be within images and then within my site, which is Test Grace. And now I'm going to show you all how to upload them onto a secondary page and kind of what you can do with them. So I've created our own images workshop page, and I've just built this out for you all to see what they can look like on a secondary page. So within a secondary page, images have to live within what we call snippets. And I'm sure you all have used these on a secondary page, but I just wanted to show you what each image snippet looks like on a page. So I'll just make this full screen. So this is what an image would look like if it was small. An image if it had a caption. So this is the actual name of the snippet. So once you go looking for them, and I'll show you this in a second, it'll say small image left with caption. Then as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is if you want it right justified with a caption. And again, this is a small image. You'll keep scrolling and you'll see a medium image left with caption. Same thing if you want it right justified. That's what it would look like there. And then for a large image, We only have options for either a large image or that with a caption, because the large image basically takes up the entire working environment within a page. So you can't justify it left or right just because it spans the full width of our basically content of a page. So that's what a large image would look like, and then one with a caption. And what I've also done is added a little bit of content to show you what it would look like. Oh, wait, one more, our image grid. So what an image grid does is it imports photos. You can either have 2, 3, or 4 across within the same row. So for example, if you had 2, it would have 2 larger image spanning the content section right here. I've done 3. And then if you wanted 4 images, these images would obviously get a little bit smaller, but then span across the content section here. And then you can add your caption under each image. And these you don't have to have in here, but you can include. And then what I wanted to show you all here is what it looks like if there's text image around, for example, a small image left. It basically wraps around the image like so. And then I showed you one more example. This is a medium image right with caption with the same content. And this is how it wraps around this image. And that's what it looks like if you have a caption. So the caption will go directly underneath the image snippet right here. And this is kind of how it folds around an image. Okay, so we're gonna go into the site and we'll build one out. So I need to check out my page and then click edit. And because I uploaded an image grid size, I'm going to show you all how to add an image grid here on the test site. So I'll just kind of split this up here with the horizontal line. I'll add some room. So again, a snippet you will find here in the puzzle piece icon. So it says insert snippet. I might have a few more displaying just because I have additional permissions that you all don't, just because I work in the CMS every day. This is my job. So when you click on it, I like to use this right here, filter by name. And because I'm adding an image grid, I will just start typing that image grid, and I'll click that here, and then I'll click insert. And so because I just showed you an image grid with 3 images, I'll just do it to 4, and we can kind of see what that looks like. Or actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do 2. That'll take less time. So the default right here in an image grid is 3. So if I wanted to display with this 2, I would go to that last image section. I would right click, and then I would do row, and then delete row. Same thing if maybe you decide, oh wait, I want 4 images instead of 2. I would change this to 4. I would go down here, right click, row, and then I would insert row after, which is where my content would live here. This would be the image and this would be the caption. And then same thing, row, insert row after. I would add my image here and my caption here. So that's kind of how you can add and delete from your image grid. But again, you have to keep it either with 2, 3, or 4 images. So to not get confused, I'm going to delete these rows, delete row, delete row, and then I'm going to go back up here, choose 2, and then you can see this gray box. And when you're using a snippet, that's what an image snippet will look like where you insert your image. And then again, this is just plain text. So what you'll do is once you click it, you'll automatically see that this highlights. So let's try that again. So if you actually can kind of look up at the toolbar when I click on it, it automatically highlights your image. So again, this gets a little confusing, so I'll walk you through it. So once you click on insert image, it'll come up with this source, but what you need to do is actually find the image that you want to use. So we use the magnifying glass icon here. It's called a dependency manager. You'll do this, also you'll see this throughout the CMS if you're importing documents, if you're hyperlinking something, you'll use this same icon, and again, it's called a dependency manager. So you'll click on it. And as you can see here, this is not where my images live. I need to go back to, again, the root images folder and then to my test site for test Grace. So luckily it's given us, it's already moved us into the root images folder. So from here, I need to find my site. So I'll get, once again, filter by test Grace. And because I'm publishing to a test site, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first click on the workshop images that I'm working within. I'm actually going to go to test, because if I try to, for example, if I'm in the production server and I click this image will be shown once it's published live on my site. But because I'm not publishing live, because we're just training and testing things out, I'm going to go back to test and click again the same image. It's just in a different testing environment. So this is our test. So I clicked on my image grid manatee. I'll click insert. And for description, every image needs to have a descriptor. So this is for people who may have visual impairments or are using screen readers, or just if the image fails to load on your page, we need to know what this image is if we can't see it. So what we'll add as our description is I'll put manatee swimming. Very simple, but it basically describes what the image is. So you don't need to change anything else. We've already correctly sized our image, so you don't need to do anything with dimensions. You'll click OK. We'll scroll down to where our image grid was. And as you can see, it imported the image here. So I'm going to do that one more time. And this is just, again, a good practice for us to do. And what I'm going to do too is just kind of show you all, if we weren't starting within images, let's say we were starting, let's say it just threw us somewhere crazy. So let's say we were in Internet Vista, and let's say we go back to staging. Actually, that's not a good example. Let's just say for some reason it threw us into something strange, like we're within arts, botanical gardens, resources. So that is not where our images lives, but I just wanted to show you kind of the file format of how to get back into the images folder. So what this is showing you is that we're within the main Tampa, the USF CMS site, within arts, within botanical gardens, and then within resources. But what we want to do is get back into our images folder. So all you have to do is just go back to the what we call like your home base or the root. You would click usf.edu because that's where we want to go to. We would go to, again, images as the root, go back to my own site, test, Grace, and then I would go within our workshop images. And again, you have to keep in mind, this is staging, and that's, again, not where our images live because they're a final product. So I'm going to go once again back into test, and that's where I will find my image grid manatee. I'll click insert. Once again, I'll say manatee swimming. Usually you're going to have a second image in here, so it won't have the same description, but I'm using the same image. Once again, leave the dimensions as is. You don't have to touch tooltip, ID. You don't have to switch here into appearance. You'll click OK. I'll scroll down back to my image grid, and there is my manatee again. So within an image grid, because a lot of people like to use them, I just wanted to point out, you can add whatever text you need here. So it doesn't have to just be plain text. What you can do is even add a little bit of a style element. So I can add a bulleted list. So I can say manatee 1, manatee 2, etc. For maybe this style, I want to, oh, it's verifying something. I can bold it, italicize it. I can even add a link. So I just wanted to show you how within the image grid itself, you can add a little bit of stylization. So I want to save this to make sure it looks okay. I'll hit save. I'm going to go to preview. And then this is how my image grid looks at the bottom of the page. So that's what it will look like. So once again, it shows my bolding and italicize. It shows my my bulleted list right here, and that's how you would import an image on a secondary page. And again, if you want something different, so let's say I wanted to add a different type of snippet, I would just scroll down. I would click the puzzle piece, insert snippet. I would click You can scroll through these, and again, I have a few more displaying than you all do, but let's say I wanted a medium image, I would just start typing medium. Then I can decide if I want it on the left with a caption, right, or right with caption. So let's say I want it on the right, I don't need a caption with it, I'll hit insert. And this is what it looks like on the page. And then once again, I do the same exact thing that I just showed you for image grid. I'd click on it, I'd click insert edit image, and then I would go here to my magnifying glass and search through the images to find what I need. And to caveat, this is actually where it usually sends. So if you just insert a snippet, as you can see, this is where it takes you. And this is once again not where you need to go. So how to kind of, and what this is showing you is kind of like a folder within a folder within a folder within a folder. So you kind of want to get yourself out of this little chain. So once again, you can go back to your home base, which is Tampa. And if you're on a different site, if you're coming from Sarasota or St. Pete, you can click sites. That is the Sarasota Manatee site, St. Petersburg, and this is Tampa. So we'll double click on Tampa. Once again, go back into images and then find what you need within your site. So I just wanted to point that out. And then just the last thing I wanted to show you all here. So let's say I wanted someone in my department to review my workshop images page. I click publish. I would go down here to publish target and I would click test because we do not want to publish this live onto the site. We don't want this to be searchable at all because we're just still working on our test site. Change this to test, click production. And then right here, if it will load, which it hasn't been this morning, it will pop up with a test site link. And that's what you can use to then, you can copy it and then you can send that to whoever you need to review. And again, it's a safe site to show people because it's not live.